Okay, so I mentioned on the Next Quick Review Facebook page that we would be talking about Jeff White knives slash Bladesmiths knives today, and that's what we're going to do. There was some questions about what had happened with Jeff White's knives. I know there was a period where it was kind of like he was on hiatus for a little bit, and then there was some confusion as to whether they were through Self Reliance Outfitters and Pathfinder knives. Um, Over the course of, I don't know, a decade and a half, 2 decades roughly, however long it's been, I've owned numerous Jeff White Bladesmith knives. I've owned some particularly from Jeff White and Bladesmiths, and some that were from Jeff White Bladesmiths and Pathfinder SRO. Now, the difference in those is, let me show you this one right here. So there's a maker's mark right here on the blade, this right here, and that is the Jeff White Bladesmith maker's mark. Now, if it was through Pathfinder SRO, you would see this maker's mark, and then another maker's mark stamped into it that was like the Pathfinder SRO logo, which is like an arrowhead with an outline of Dave Canterbury kneeling down in it. So that was what differentiated for me between the two. Uh, some of the ones that I had just had this, and some of the ones that I had both marks on it. Now, this is the Siberian Tundra knife from Jeff White Bladesmiths, and I picked this up through this group right here. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing this right. Bezalel Collective on Etsy. Here's the information for them right here, how you can get a hold of them. And from what I gathered looking at it, it was a lot of the old Jeff White blanks with scales sold separately, and you could put your own knife together. But they also had a bunch of them that were already put together, like this one. It is very sharp. I have not tested the spine yet, like I did my other ones, to see if it'll throw a spark off of it. But from my understanding, it was 1095 high carbon steel. The Rockwell and the hardness was soft enough to where you could throw a spark off the spine with flint or chert, which I'm going to try in a little bit. The ones that I had before were a little bit thicker, other than the Bush one. The Bush one was about the same thickness, but the Trekker was a full convex. This actually, if you look, it looks like it has a micro bevel right along that edge. And all the Jeff White Bladesmith knives I've had before did not have a micro bevel. So I'm not sure what that indicates. I have some questions about it, but everything else about it looks authentic. I mean, the scales, the fit and finish, the contours of it, the little right here, I don't even know what you would call this, the shoulders where it comes in right here for the pinch grip. I really like this knife a lot, and it is very sharp. I've used it in one of my fire starting videos. It's got a great 90-degree edge on this spine right here, so it'll eat a ferro rod up real quick and throw a lot of sparks. It came with a really nice leather sheath, and as all the Jeff White knives that I've had before do, they all came with really nice leather sheaths from different makers. I know the Bush one came from a fellow by the name of Robert Jones, I believe. And then the Trekker came through whoever was making them for SRO, that would put out these real thick, nice leather, maroon looking colored sheaths. And then the French trade knife had a more of a yellowy, waxy looking leather sheath. But that was pretty common for what they were putting out at the time. This one, I'm not sure who the maker is on this. It doesn't have a maker's mark on it, but it is very good quality. It's got a nice thick welt on it. I put some mink oil on it, and I mean, it's a good knife. And it actually reminds me a lot of the Robert Jones sheath that I had with the Bush one, but I can't say for sure if it is or not, just because it doesn't have a maker's mark on it. Now, I'm not sure if Jeff White Bladesmith is still making knives, but I know if you look at this store on Etsy, you're going to find a lot of different models. I saw a lot of the Bush ones. I saw one called the Lewis and Clark. I saw some daggers on there, some double-edged daggers. There was a couple Nessmuk style and a couple Comanche. I think they're called the Comanche Kephart. There was a couple of those. Those really caught my eye. But I went with this one instead, and I'm glad I did. I really like the blade shape of it. The only complaint is the handle is just a little bit small for my hands. But I mean, when I'm using this, I'm choking up on it anyway, getting right up here next to that edge so I can get good control. So it's not really a big deal. But I mean, I can still, it'll still fit my hand. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal. But that was one of my complaints with the Trekker as well. I wish the Trekker handle had been just a little bit longer. If it had, that knife would have been 10 out of 10. Let me tell you. But I'm going to get this out to the stump here in a little bit and do a full review. Make sure I can get a spark off this spine. Just beautiful curly maple handles or tiger maple handles. And yeah, I believe this is the genuine article. And if you want to take a look, let me show the card one more time. Bezalel Collective on Etsy. And there it is. So give them a look, send some business their way. They seem like they're putting out some good product. And yeah, if you were looking for Jeff White knives, do not despair. They are not gone forever. You can pick one up there. So give them a look. Thanks.